Morning, YouTube. Well, today I was passing through the Tucson area, and well, oops, I did it again.
That's right.
I came in to help Jax with something.
Welcome back, Steve. I know you can't get enough of this build that's going about as fast as a turtle with its eyes closed.
Yeah,
so,
this will be the last time I see Jax until next fall, and I expect I'll come and help him put the last board in, something like that. But anyway, we've got the reason I'm here, we got a special project, and I'll show you about that. Yeah. So what I'm helping Jax with is he's got this signal booster for trucks. It's a WeBoost by Wilson, and it's looks pretty easy. I mean, it's labeled which steps, what goes when, and this is going to boost cell signals into his bus. So if you're out in the back of beyond where we all like to go, and you're getting 1 or 2 bars, this thing will bump you up to quite a few. So we're gonna go do this. I'll show you step by step, and let's get to it. So the first part of this process is determine the location of where you want the antenna, and we've decided that where the CB antenna is, we're going to use that mount and put the WeBoost connector on there. We're going to move the CB to the other side. Reason being that we're buses. We tend to live in the slow lane, and the trees overhanging the roadway tend to be on the slow lane side. So we'd rather have the inexpensive CB antenna get banged around than the WeBoost. Okay, slight change of plans because we read the instructions. Turns out there's an optional way to do this. Instead of doing this with a side exit, we're going to put the spring on, just like it was a CB antenna, and then the wires will come out the bottom, and you'll have the spring in case you hit a tree. So sometimes it pays to look over everything in the box, but when you look at the instructions, it all makes sense. Very well done instructions. Okay, so it comes with 2 extensions, and what Jax is doing is he's attaching a spring to the bottom, so if he runs into a tree or some kind of obstruction, it'll bounce, not snap off. But I
just hope it doesn't do that all the time.
The 2 extensions would take it up way too high, and as you can see that this takes it above the top of the bus, and basically you'll be able to pull in signal from all over. Put in another extension on, which is another 17 inches or 16 inches, something like that, would take it way up high, and possibly I wouldn't have a problem with bridges, but he definitely would have problems with a lot of trees. One of the reasons to bring it in on this side is he's got the feed where the heater wires to the mirrors go, and we can bring it through that same grommet into here, and we have access to, under the dash, we've got into the where the side control, where stereo is and all that. So it's sort of handy, easier on this side than the other. So we've mounted the antenna, which is basically steps 1, 2, 3. We're at step 4, and we seem to have lost the 5 and 6, 7. Step 4 is figuring out where to put the interior antenna, because this is basically taking the cell signal, going to boost it through the amplifier here, and then resend it. So the bus, this interior antenna becomes a little mini cell tower. So the instructions say you can mount it on the side of the seat with some Velcro, mount it on the dash, but these instructions are for a semi. With us, we're looking at possibles are mounted up here in the corner, you know, even up high on this or on the dash.
Yeah, and this is what the interior antenna looks like. It is a pretty small unit, the size of a few chunks of Hershey's chocolate when you're sitting next to the campfire.
Oh, don't talk about chocolate. I'm hungry. I think we've got to see how long the cord is, and that will give us sort of options of how far away from the actual booster amplifier we can put this. So we'll do a little investigating here. See, we've got two different kinds of phones here. You know, I got my little flip phone. I'm getting 3G, 3 bars, 1X, 3 bars, and Jax has got his intelligent phone that's getting 2 bars, Verizon LTE. So this is just sort of a test to see when we fire this thing up, what we're going to get. So we've decided that we're going to mount, okay, that's enough. Okay. We're going to mount this either here or up here. I think it's going to come to a flip of a coin, or which works best. But the actual unit, this is the booster unit, there's a mounting plate on the back, and we're going to mount that underneath the dash. Snaps in place. One of these is input, one is output, and we just got to run the cables, hook it up, and it does need to have the power hooked up. And Jax has decided to hook it up to his solar system so that this will always be on without having to have the bus turned on or off, you know, drain that battery. Where I suppose somebody with a semi wouldn't need it when they're parked. Maybe they could turn the bus or turn their on and use it for when they're, you know, overnights and they're done with their hours for the day and they're parked someplace. But we're going to do it, hook it up to the solar, because we happen to have some wires that we ran up here for something else that we wired a different way. So one option is, instead of screwing that base unit on, Jax has some really strong double-sided tape. And so he attached it under the dash with that, and we've just got to string the wires around. And but that is an option. And they do make some really good double-sided tape. Don't go cheap on it. So what Jax was able to do, he's got followed an arrow line through, but he's got this little access panel on the side of his dash here that he took off and was able to reach in there. Now he's running just enough wire over to hook up to the unit that's down underneath here, and he can leave the rest of it coiled up, and we'll zip tie it so it's nice and neat back under where we brought it through from outside. So the last step is going to be hooking up the power supply. They make it so that you can plug it into a cigarette lighter. It's got a switch on it to turn it on and off. He wants to leave this on all the time. Got lots of line to get to this cigarette lighter. But one thing, when you get units like these and you think, hey, I could just wire it into 12 volt, which, you know, if you've seen my previous videos, I've done that with a hard drive. You look at the box, the big converter box that they come with. This one says input 12 volt, output 6 volt. So we're going to take, and we can cut this this power plug off and wire this side right directly into the 12 volt solar system, and he can put a switch in if he wants at some point, and then this other end comes out 6 volt, and we're going to just hide this box up under the dash. So one of the important things is which of these two wires, the one that's solid black or the one with a white line, which is positive, which is negative. On these things, positive is here, negative is here, and they always unscrew. And you could pull this all apart.
That's the positive.
And be able to find out which one of these. Actually, we're going to have to unscrew it here. We can pull it apart and see which one hooks up to the base.
Why don't you just ring it out?
So.
Yeah. Well, Glenn.
Okay, so we pulled it apart, and the because normally, talking to Glenn here, that we're at his place, the painted wire, the white one, is normally positive. I don't trust people in factories not to do, because I used to work in a factory. Sometimes people do things backwards, but by looking at it, the switch is on the positive side, the center post on this, so that piece going down, that's positive. The side is the ground. So now we know that that painted one is definitely the positive. So we can be able to cut this off and snake this all the way through and hook it up to the live lines that are coming from the back. Okay, so Jack's wired it in right into the power, and we looked at the bars. I was getting 3 bars, I believe, 3G and 3 bars of 1X, and it shot up to 4 bars, and 1X actually went up to 5. It's unplugged right now, so Jax is doing a speed test on his.
So it's 50 up, or sorry, 50 down, 8 up. Now let's see what happens when I plug this in.
And that's the data, right? Data speed test?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's going to take a little while for this to kick on and all that.
Right. And he plugged it in, and I shot right up to 5 bars of 1X, and I still got the 4 bars of 3G, but it's probably going to bump up.
Yeah. See, it's not reading 4 bars yet. It hasn't boosted the signal quite yet, so this is not a good accurate representation here. Let me wait till it boosts the signal. I don't know why.
Okay, so he did an internet speed test, and this is your
upload. So we doubled the upload.
It.
Yeah.
Download is a little slower, but that could be for many things. But the fact that he's got to upload that much faster. Of course, this is the Verizon. He does have an alternative way to do it that's way super fast, but that isn't available, so we're not going to even talk about it. So, as you can see, we were getting pretty good signal here to begin with. Got better signal. The real test is going to be when Jax takes this off into the back of beyond, where we tend to get to, where you have less coverage, maybe 1 bar, or even where I was, where I got 1X, 1 bar, which is basically, it recognizes there's a phone but can't do anything. The real test is going to be getting this back out into the back of beyond, the boonies, and seeing what kind of coverage he gets then. So that's basically just very easy to install, this WeBoost for trucks, and even Jax and I can do it with minimal instruction. So, see you later, YouTube.